Hello, everyone. You know what time it is already. It's time for another round of questions here. Once again, we'd like to review some questions, provide some feedback, and let's get started here. All right, so we are here. Let's see what we reviewed today. All right, okay, we're all the way back here. Okay, good, good, good. All right, so we're here in we're in the July section. So we have quite some way to dig, but just because the question is old does not mean it's not relevant today. So let's see what the first one says. What turns you off during a conversation online? Hmm. Uh, this one is somewhat interesting. But we'll see. Let's look at the other questions first. What are some of the hacks you learned when you just started living on your own? Okay, this one, I wouldn't mind getting some perspective here. Let's see what people say here. hmm All right, here are a few of mine. Most of the time, I grocery shop online the night before for the next day delivery. Saves a lot of time and no lines. When I go home from work, they're waiting for me. Mm, well, that's true. You can get like pantry and all that. That's true. Meal prep for another day. For ground beef, I first season it with salt, pepper, ketchup, sometimes diced onion, etc. Then make hamburger patties. Put one each in a Ziploc baggie or wrap in aluminum foil and freeze for later. Meals. You can do the same with other meats. For chicken, only rinse and pat dry. Then put two pieces in a baggie or foil and freeze. Of course, only refrigerate what you plan to eat that day or the next. The benefits is you only need to take out in the morning what you plan to cook the afternoon or evening. Milk and soups for work lunches can also be frozen. Oh, frozen milk? I'm not sure about that one. All right. It's easy to burn up time on the internet or watching a movie. That's extremely true. Throw clothes in the washer slash dryer before you start. That's what I do too. When I go to do my laundry, I I do all everything at once, right? I was like, okay, I'm gonna do my laundry today, so all in one go, right? I take the laundry downstairs and then put it in the dryer, and then from there I can maybe watch one or two anime episodes, and then when I go back downstairs, right, I also take the trash with me. That way, that trip downstairs also productive, so I could dual task right there. I was like, all right, I got the trash. While I'm down here, I might as well take out the trash. So that's how I do that all at once. So I like doing that. That's a good strategy. Put dirty dishes in the dishwasher after every meal. Before leaving for work, set it to wash. When you get home, they're clean. Hmm. Keep a roll of paper towels in the bathroom and one in your car. Keep a few bottles to a case of water in your car. Also keep an extra old jacket and umbrella in case it breaks down or you have an accident. Yep, I keep a case of water back in my car as well because you never know when you feel thirsty. I was, I just want to drink something, so you just bring it out and just drink it. All right. Let's see. At work or in your car, keep an extra shirt or blouse in case you spill something on your clothes. I should probably practice that. I don't have any extra clothes in my car. One of my former bosses told me that too. Always keep like a sweatpants or something like that. You never know. That's good advice. I should probably do that. Keep a few emergency gifts and roll of wrap in case you forgot someone, including Secret Santa office party. That one might be good too. Memorize at least 2 to 3 phone numbers of people you can call in an emergency if you don't have your cell phone with you. True, true, true. Always keep a minimum savings to cover at 1 month's expense. 6 months is even better. This will be needed between jobs. Yep, that's true. Living wills, power of attorney, and advance directives are for medical decisions, usually on one document. Plan ahead and get to the medical care you want at the end of life, even if you're relatively young, since bad accidents can happen. There was a rich athlete a few years ago who passed away in an accident. He had no will because he never expected to die young. If I recall, his relation with his wife was shaky, no kids, and wife inherited everything. Wow. Rather than his mother who had supported his education and career. That's a tragedy. The wife refused to share a dime. There are many stories of famous people who died without a will. Pets, make sure you have a dog tag on your dog whenever you take him out, or if he's microchipped. Even if he's microchipped. It's easier and faster for a neighbor who finds him to get in touch with you. The tag ideally should have 2 phone numbers and your email address. Carry pepper spray with you to fend off any aggressive dogs or dog snatchers. There's dog snatchers? Okay. The fastest way to clean up dog poop in your yard or when walking is to wrap a plastic grocery bag around your hand/arm. You can pick it up directly and put it in the plastic bag. Ugh. If you have a cat, scoop waste from the litter box each morning after he eats. Place it in a plastic bag and tie it tightly. Drop off bag in the outdoor trash can or, if an apartment, the trash chute when you leave for work. With one cat, you'll only need to change the entire probably every 5 days, and your place won't stink. Double wrap that in plastic bags. Also, you can buy cat liners for the box. With these, you have very little cleaning to do for the box. Keep a shot record in any easy to find place and take it with you every time you go to the vet. If you forget, put the receipt in it. Ah, okay. That was interesting, Reed. Okay, let's continue here. What is stopping poor people from becoming wealthy? Um, why does my cousin in third world country ask me how much I earn and how much rent I pay? Ever since I told him, he's asking me to buy him things. I was like, I remember one of my friends told me, oh well, some people from third world countries think, oh, they think the streets are paved in gold over here in America. I was like, what golden advice did you learn in your life? Uh, let's see. What should I do? I'm about to be homeless. Is it okay to? That's an interesting one here. Let's see what people have right there. You have to be prepared for all situations here. All right, let me check right here. I agree with the other posters about getting rid of things. If you can afford it, join a gym or health club at $45 a month or so. This is an inexpensive way to have a bathroom and shower. While being homeless, don't look like someone who has been given up. If you have a car, find a safe place to sleep in at night. Train station commuter parking lots are used to having overnight vehicles parked there. As much as practical, continue your daily schedule, getting up at the same time, getting out of the house, your car, shelter, or try to find a place where you can volunteer, after school programs, hospitals, various charities, churches. Being productive means helping others. This helps immensely to avoid self-pity and passivity. Treat job searching as a part-time job, assuming you're not among the working homeless. If you are employed but homeless, consider approaching HR department for advice on housing and coping. Remember, you are the same person inside yourself as you were before becoming homeless. It helps to have a Bible and read it, and a prayer life that is consistent. Find a church that has a small group meetings during the week and join a small group. There's a lot of non-financial support you can obtain by being a part of such a small group. If you are unemployed but worked enough prior to your homelessness, you could be eligible for unemployment insurance. Check it out with the state unemployment office. Mm. So more to take away there is, you know, find a safe place to sleep, join a group, volunteer, and you can probably make it out. Is it okay to order the prices thing on the menu when someone else is paying for your bill? Which number between 1 and 10 is less likely to be picked by a random person? Alright, why would a homeless person decide against sleeping in a shelter that is not at max capacity? Well, here's the thing, the shelter is very dangerous from what I've seen. What is the fastest you wipe that smirk off your monitor's face? Wow, let's continue. What problems do wealthy people have that middle class people don't have? Let's continue. Why do so many retailers not accept American Express? Well, here's the thing. American Express has like when you use a credit card or credit card, I should say, the credit card takes a cut, from the revenue that's so let's say if I paid $10 for a balloon, right? Like maybe a 1%, maybe this example, not actual thing. Maybe 1% is goes to the goes to Mastercard, right? But American Express, there's like, oh, I want 2.5%. So they take a high percentage. So that's how you answer that one. All right. What prevents an employer from simply firing an old worker and replacing him with a younger one in an at-will employment with no legal protection. It's very complacency. Just like, well, and that's why I know he does something, but it could be like that. What does it feel like to become a poor after being wealthy? All right. What are some subtleties of advertising besides the fine print people often miss? Excuse me. What does Amazon do with all the unsold stuff? Why do so many people dislike doing jury duty? Well, for some, it wastes your time, you lose days pay and all that. How do you manage recruiters and job applications? Let's continue onward. What are the most visible markers of middle class in the USA? Uh, why does it seem like drive-thrus never use the first window anymore, and they have you pull straight to the second? Let's continue. All right. Am I crazy to leave a six-figure salary to get a PhD in computer science? That's. Uh, I don't know how I feel about that one. I mean, you're doing six figures already. Like, well, what else do you want? All right. When we purchase a 32 gigabyte flash drive, we get only around 28 gigabytes of storage space. Where does the remaining 4 gigabyte come into picture? No, that reminds me. So some hard drives, right? It could be advertised as 1 terabyte, but you get like what 960 gigabytes. That's because some of them are bad clusters. So same with flash. Not all of it can be utilized at 100%. All right, you are one of 9,999,999 people asked. You get to keep whatever seven-digit dollar amount you want as long as no one else chooses it. What do you choose? All right. What with people emptying the shelves at stores due to coronavirus? What exactly are people buying? What products are they stocking up, and why? All right. Why do so many millennials feel the American system is failing? Let's see. Do recruiters often indicate a lower max salary to potential recruits to please employers? Mm. Is it illegal for someone to take a photo of me while at work without my consent? I think so. All right. The wealthy buy luxuries last, while the poor and middle class tend to buy luxuries first. Why? What status symbol? It's just status. People, like sometimes you just want to be seen as more than what you're not, even though I was like, oh, I got a Rolex or something like that. I got a Rolex. I made it. But I remember I saw a meme online that was like, don't buy $100 purse to have $10 in it. Get a $10 purse to buy $100 in it. Something like that. So forget luxuries. I wear shoes until they fall apart. So let's continue. Is it acceptable to get a haircut during your work lunch break? Why or why not? If that's no problem. Like as long as you can make it back to work in time. Which major city has the best climate on Earth? Let's continue onwards. All right. How do Chinese eBay sellers ship so cheaply across the world? Are they somehow scamming the HK or CN postal office service, or are the rates disproportionately expensive one direction only? Let's continue. Will the PS5 meet the same success as the PS4? Mm, what is a disturbing fact most people are unaware of? Oh, this one's interesting. Let's see. This one's interesting. All right, number one. As recently as the 1980s, many researchers and doctors believed that babies couldn't feel pain, so some were operated on without any anesthesia. Two, the picture to be used in your funeral program may have been taken. Wow, that's kind of creepy. Oh, yeah, that's kind of creepy. All right, three, dogs like squeaky toys because it reminds them of small animals being killed. Okay. Number four, you don't know if there's a secret everybody knows except you. Five, butterflies have been known to drink blood. All right, no problem. Six, cannibalism is common in hamsters. Okay. Seven, you pass the anniversary date of your death every year. This is kind of spooky. Eight, you have tiny mites in your eyelashes. Understandable. Number nine, many people take medications to relieve despair, but there's a certain type of antidepressant that can eliminate your feelings of love and compassion. Wow, you get apathy. 10. Bananas are radioactive. 11. The greater shorthorn lizard squirts blood out of its eyes. 12. Several species of birds keep cool by defecating on themselves. Alright, 13. After scorpions shed their tails, they die of constipation. Interesting. 14. When males bees mate, their sexual organs explode. 15. Sloths almost die every time they have to poop. Alright. 16. Rabbits will eat their own young if they're stressed enough. Wow. 17. All cruise ships have a functioning morgue on board. Wow. 18. The average person walks by almost 16 murderers in their lifetime. 19. Serial killer Joe Metheny owned a food stand and sold burgers that combined animal meat with the flesh of his victims to unsuspecting customers. 20. You are 6.7% more likely to die on your birthday than any other day of the year. Well, I guess that could be like people are doing some reckless things during their birthdays or something like that. Or depression and all that. 21. In the Victorian era, it was common to take pictures with the bodies of a deceased family member as a way to preserve their memory. 22. In the 16th and 17th century, many Europeans thought that eating human bones, blood, and fat would cure certain illnesses, so they stole mummies from Egyptian tombs and robbed graves to get the body. Wow. 23. Less than 5% of the oceans have been explored by humans, meaning we have no idea what kind of monsters could be living there. 24. Ted Bundy was a serial killer who also worked at a suicide hotline. A co-worker once said, Ted Bundy took lives but also saved lives. 25. The first person to die while building the Hoover Dam was John Gregory Terry, and the last was Patrick William Terry, his son, exactly 14 years later. Oh, that reminds me of like of the movie Saving Private Ryan, where like they had like all those guys in the military. Um, they was like, oh, this is the last guy. Like the whole family generation of soldiers were all died, and so they was like, all right, Brian, you're not gonna be the same one. You're not gonna die like the rest of the family, and they saved him. Let me see if we have time. Where was it? Uh, okay. Number what is cheap to get yet makes you seem wealthy? A suit. Okay. I did CPR on a crash victim until paramedics survived. They say I saved her life. I'm now being sued by her for breaking a. Oh, well, the Good Samaritan law, covers her, so she should be fine. All right. If you are in a job interview and asked to name 3 of your flaws, what's the best way to deal with this question? Let's continue. If a cashier sees that I'm buying a bunch of suspicious products, can they call the cops and have them follow me home? Yes. All right. Do homeless people enjoy the homeless lifestyle? All right, we might read that last. All right. How do tiny businesses buy things wholesale? Memberships. What's the most useful website and why? All right, we're gonna read this one. This person is speaking in an ironic tone. This one. All right, and then we're gonna call it right there because we about to hit the 20-minute mark. Okay. So I was like, yes, I loved it. I love not eating food for weeks at a time. I love being poisoned by people who wanted to harm others like me. I love fighting for my survival each and every night. I love risking my life just by going to sleep, knowing I might not wake up in the morning. I love not knowing if I would ever live in a house again. I love begging the pot for change so I didn't starve. I love eating out of bins for the same reasons. I love the discrimination. I love the abuse. I love the apathy. I love the hatred. As you can see, homelessness was the best period of my life. Wow. What are people saying? I can't imagine anyone asking this question. I nearly died trying to keep a slumlord from forcing me out of my house and onto the street. The things I put up with. No heat, electricity turn-offs, finding a guy, applying gasoline to the banister outside my door. Any number of deadly and life-threatening things. I could have been in your situation. Only a madman would ask this. That's right, a mad woman who doesn't think much of people who are poor and or need public assistance or any of the things that would help them live better lives. So this person going through it presently and have to decide each day returning to the streets is safer for me and my service dog, ESA dog. At least on the streets there was a chance someone may hear you scream and help you. For those who believe the big fat lie that we choose to live on the streets, that's only true when the only offered option is worse than the streets. Imagine that, if you dare. So here's the thing, the way I see it, you're either it's both scenarios are dangerous, right? You're either gonna if faced with these situations, you're either if you're homeless, of course, or in danger of being homeless. Like this person right here, there's like a lot of dangers that could be faced homeless. One could actually like think, oh, well, that person's like, for example, let's say I was about to be homeless. All right, what would I do as homeless? Oh my goodness, what do I do? First, reach out family members. Reach out to family members. Don't have that option. Oh my goodness. Uh, Try to see if we can get. Oh, that's a tough. But yeah, that's tough. Because it's either you become homeless. If you're in that situation, the first day of homeless, maybe do you commit a petty crime? That's like, hey, listen, petty crime. You go to jail, or not jail, but prison. Uh, maybe then at least you get a meal. You're safe, but you lose your freedom. But that introduces a different aspect of danger as well. You're surrounded by a bunch of other dangerous people. So either you're homeless, right? And you take your chances on a dangerous street, which is, people could have malicious intents, or you decided, okay, I'm gonna go to jail, and I'm going to get at least get some meals and some a cell, but you also might be forced to work as well, because I know some prisons have like do like sometimes you do like license plates or something like that, but yeah, so that's a tough decision. Either you get your freedom right as a homeless person, but you risk living on the streets, but endangered by everyone, or you get your freedom taken away from you in prison, but you get some free meals, but you're surrounded by once again you're surrounded by dangerous people. But these people are dangerous for sure. So you gotta think: will you be surrounded by the public, who there's a chance one random person right there could take your life when you're sleeping, or do you go to prison you have this and be surrounded by other dangerous criminals. So it's tough for the homeless, real tough. Um, but yeah, that's that. It's a very unfortunate we ended on this note, but um, some critical thought right there about the dangers of being homelessness, the choices that there are. But yeah, we're gonna leave it right there. But thanks for if you made it this far, thank you for watching. Take it easy. Adios.